You're being we're going to have a discussion with some gentlemen, with some panelists on kingdom economics. I made posts about this in various ways. But let's just open up in prayer, and then we'll introduce the panelists, and then we'll get straight into some juicy conversation. Abba, Yah, we thank you for your goodness, your mercy, your love, your compassion. We thank you for how you've been gentle towards Israel. You've disciplined us, you've warned us, you've exhorted us, you've sent prophets to speak unto us. We thank you right now for this dispensation, this awakening that is occurring within the hearts of many of Hebrew people far and wide. We thank you, Father, for what you're doing amongst the Gentiles as well. Thank you that Yahusha is a light not only unto Hebrew, but unto Gentile, for those that confess him as Adonai. Father, we bless you. Abba, we thank you. Give us wisdom. Give us careful instruction that those who might receive or will tap into this live stream, that the wisdom you would impart, Father, would be your wisdom, that the glory that would manifest would be your kavod, your glory, and that we would simply be instruments, tools to reflect what you've allowed us to experience in the avenue of business, such that your people would be prospered and that your kingdom would be expanded and that you and your name alone would be glorified. Father, I say todah, I say todah, I say todah, I say thank you for all you have and for all you're doing in and amongst your people. Let this simply be just another avenue which you're impacting people in the marketplace for kingdom economics. In the name of your son to be esteemed, Yahushua HaMashiach, we bless you, Father. We say amen, amen, amen.
Yeah. Man.
So I got two beautiful people with us as the panelists. The first one is Brother Yosef. You may know of him. Brother, you want to share a little bit about yourself, and then we'll move on to Mr. Sutton.
Okay, hallelujah. Joshua. Some of you know me as Brother Yosef. Since we're on the topic of kingdom economics, I've been in the arena of entrepreneurship now been on my own for like the last, I want to say about 13, 14 years. And, been dependent on, of course, the Most High and the efforts of getting out here and just making it happen. Have some, nice and successful years and years to actually learn and grow from. And that's what I want to be able to help share with you all just taking a look at this today. That's just a little bit about me on the business side. Of course, there's going to be more that's going to get brought out as we continue to go further.
Thank you, my dear brother. And for those that should know, I'm going to be operating as the moderator slash host. Mr. Sutton, please share details about who you are.
Well, shalom, everyone. I am right now, I guess, the elder statesman of the group. I'm looking at probably 40 plus years in business as a leader, as a manager, running both small and large corporate, my own business as well. And that's training, development, starting up a company, running it, hiring the whole 9 yards when it comes to business. And we want to make sure that, my thing is that you understand what it takes to do this. Economics or the kingdom economics is the gifts that have been given to you, and use them wisely.
All right. I think there were some things that we had talked about as precursor before this actual live stream. And I'm going to share my screen. And I think everyone that's probably looking at this can probably benefit from some of this. I'll share just one part and then I'll unshare. Bear with me if you will. Let's go here. This is one of the screens. All right. Hopefully everyone can see this. Let me just purposely expand this space here. There we go. All right. So the purpose of these discussions is to discuss ways in which kingdom believers can expand the kingdom of Yahuwah while financially sustaining their operation. That operation could be your business, it could be your ministry, it could be maybe some international pursuit or some international ministry call that the Father has put within you to operate in. I'm going to move on. Our discussion will highlight the following: the need to recognize one's gifts, talents, resources, abilities, profession, whatever. You can go on and on, right? Unique approaches of monetizing our gifts and talents with righteous intent and application. There's always been this fear when you hear the word monetization with your gift or talent. There's this fear that some people have that they're selling the gospel. And I want to dispel that that's not what we're attempting to do. We're not selling anything related to the gospel, but we are going to use our gifts that the Father put within us. And you have to understand what that gift is and how to activate it and operate it. The other point, leveraging our impact by building with like-minded believers. So you have to be very purposeful as you build, as you connect, as you expand. And well, trust me, there's going to be a lot of content we're going to share. So let me just present some comments or some questions here. Let me remove this caption here. Connecting the past with the present. So as I present these questions, and the panelists feel free to interrupt anytime, but I want to present these questions for those that might be watching us now or in the future. Did early kingdom believers use money? Panelists, can you answer that for me?
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Sure.
And and when we think of money, it was not just in what we think of coins or that, but it was actually gold, mirth, wheat, precious things that were needed on a day-to-day life that we worked in and dealt with. So it wasn't just, what we consider a $1 bill, $5 bill, nickel, quarter, dime. There were several other commodities, and that's where money or the trade really actually originated from.
Okay. Roman soldiers were often paid in salt. Sometimes there would be commerce by way of bartering products and or services, whether it was a token or a coin or some other piece of product in exchange for service. So money was the tool that would provide a sense of equity against whatever the product or service that was provided. What did they use money for? Now, whether this is kingdom believers or not, what did people and what do people use money for? Want to answer that?
Well, of course, they
these are very
use it. Okay, yes. Of course, they use it for livestock. They use it to, of course, travel. We know King Solomon, how he dealt with King Hiram of Tyre, and how they conducted business with the ships and the tradings with the merchants that went abroad. You can see it in so many different aspects. We use it as a means of, well, this is not economics in this point, but people, it kind of is in a certain way, because with this transfer and the selling of Joseph down to Egypt, it brought forth a salvation to a whole people, which led to a greater kingdom economics for us later on. But so many different things that the money's used for. I know the elder right there is burning to say something, so I should have let him go first.
Oh, no, and it's used for that. It was used for the service of other people in the community to help other individuals. It was used to take care of their families. It was used for a lot of different things that they saw a need for within their community. One of the biggest things is that we see the difference now is that we don't share that, what we call share the wealth. Early on, that wealth was being shared. It was noble. It was expected that what you earned, you shared with the people of your community, not just immediate family members.
That's good. Your phone
also just real quick.
If you got a live stream on your phone, if you could turn your volume down on that. I just hear feedback coming from something here. Not sure what that is.
Is it better now?
I think so. Yes, it is.
Can you hear me okay now?
Oh yeah, perfectly.
Okay, so also too when you go, okay, perfect. So you also when you go, of course, in the scriptures, even when they were celebrations, of course, the money was used to feed the poor, the widows, the strangers, the fatherless, and it was also as a form of purchasing. That if the way was too long, you will convert your goods into money, and you will use that money. You will bind it in your hand. You will go to the place that you're supposed to celebrate at. You will use that money to convert it into more resources. You could buy wine, the food, the grain, so that you next location that you can still feed the poor, the homeless, the widows, the strangers, and the Levites as well. So that's just aspect of what it was for. Is definitely to feed individuals, and I think that's all three of us on the line have that common goal that we want to use the resources that we have to help feed our brothers and sisters that are poor. And I know DJ Yoel, you do an excellent job of that already.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Elder Sukkah, we see that you're plugged in. How you doing this evening?
Shalom, 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 Mores.
Hey, Shalom,
Definitely
Elder.
all praise to Yahuwah. Glad to be here. My daughter's 17th birthday. Forgive me for my tardiness. I do apologize sincerely.
Oh man. Oh, bless the daughter. The Lord has rewarded her another 365 days. That's a blessing, Elder. That's a blessing. Thank you for joining. As you know, you were part of the precursor discussions. There's a list of questions we provided. And my whole point in taking this angle is to dispel the functional use of money. There is a purpose for money. Of course, we understand the lust of it. That's something else. We're not talking about that. We're talking about the functional use in this system we have. But the emphasis is how to use that to expand and build the kingdom. Now, for those that are listening, there is a reason why we're talking about the aspect of money, because once you get over that hurdle and then you understand how to monetize your gift with righteous intent, it will eliminate that fear of moving forward. Okay, let me move to the next question. Um, what were some common trades that early believers operated in? Now, I say believers, we can even go before the arrival of Hamashiach, the Messiah. We can go before them. Let's go into Solomon. Let's go into David. Let's go into Abraham, Ishak, and Jacob. What talents can you visualize? As I think of King Solomon, I'm thinking of all those persons that operated as silversmiths, as bronzesmiths, those that were specialists in working with cedar wood or certain types of wood, those that were crafted in building musical instruments. Those were actual skills and trades. So, to my panelists, what can you think of as you rehearse back in scripture persons with actual trades or skills?
Our people were doing what we're
But to
doing now in the truth. We made clothes, we made jewelry, we made a ton of jewelry. We were goldsmith. We were very good with gold. We were very good with silk and purple. We made things. We made a lot. We made perfumes back then. We made jewelry, beads, earrings, things of that nature. Then the same way we're monetizing now is the same way they're monetizing then.
I'm getting so excited because that right there is part of the connection. Elder Corey, what do you got to share on this? Brother Joseph, go ahead and share.
okay, one of the things that I see as well is that like in today's modern society, you have individuals that a plot for their family members to be buried on. And when you go back to the beginning, Abraham he paid for a burial for Sarah his wife, and that was a perpetual um, inheritance for the sons of Jacob, even as they went throughout their generations. So he was business minded enough to, even in the sense of even when the children of Heth was going to give it to him for free, just out of the respect and admiration that they have for him, Abraham still had a business mind to go ahead ahead and pay in advance. Kind of like a cost associated with today. We would love to the next, life. Whatever, individuals play very like Abraham into that already.
All right. Question 4. This ties in, I believe, to what Elder Sukkah already said. Are some of these trades still used today? The answer to that question is abundantly yes. And so there's a reason why
Absolutely.
we had to reference the past, because we understand some form of Bible history. We understand at least what we read, we believe it. But when you establish confidence, what has already been said or done, and then you bring it forward, you help eliminate whatever the sphere is. There's a fear about people operating in their gifts and their talents because they think, oh, they're going to go astray. Well, Elder Sukkah just shared that you had our people creating perfume, designing wood, crafts, chairs, tables, building structures and instruments of tools, earrings and jewelry. Well, we do that now, but you can use that same talent that the Father put within you and monetize it again for righteous intent. I'm going to move to the next question for sake of time. But we'll open up the floor for, I know we got some folks looking at this live, and you may have questions. Business owners, please present your questions. We're happy to entertain those. Moving on to the next question. What new trades are functional today? Mr. Sutton, the pressure's on. I think you might be having connection issues. Elder Sukkah, what new trades can you think of today?
There are many that we do. Like I said, one of the biggest industries that we have right now amongst us is our clothes. Look, you have ox such as my Aki Hukanan and Sister Chi-Chi, what they doing with the Great Awakening clothing, which was Rhema Word clothing. So and then we have other people that are actually have this trade that can craft. We have fringes, it's amongst us. We sold amongst us, because I'm always reminded of the scripture what Tobiyahu said, that he took a tenth of what he had and he went back to Jerusalem and he spent it amongst his brethren. What he said, I gave to the Levites, and then I had a tenth that I spent when I came to Jerusalem. So our money was always coming in amongst us. We didn't spend with other people. So that impact our trade. And we have people that make jewelries. That's why we have people that make fine jewelries. You got people like Haji Go Lightly. You know what I'm saying? You have other sisters and brothers out there. My man Dimitri Prude, who make necklaces. You got Moray Yeru, who make necklaces. You know what I'm saying? So when we support one another, we're helping build their craft, because there's so many things out there. Like Moray Yosef, he has a book. He's an author. He's a scholar. So there are many different trades, because the scripture tells you in the book of Jeremiah, he said, when you go into captivity, build house. Yes, sir. When you go into captivity, build houses and land. So in other words, you have trades, you have things that you can do. We have a lot of people that can do that farm. We got a lot of people that can build. We got people amongst us that build, staffs amongst us that can build. We are farmers. Like what is the new thing down, the new farmers market you got down there in Atlanta that's going on? That's a business.
Oh yeah. Beautiful market. By their brothers. Absolutely. And that's a platform that we can leverage one another's services or products. And we can't lose sight of that, is that building and connecting is one thing, but then providing an economic support such that I take my money that I've earned and I take it to the farmer's market that's Hebrew owned or that's Black owned. So then the money is now reciprocated into them. And if they should ever, secure, music or DJ services, that money then is exchanged back into a service that I could render. And so that's where we have this. And then the beautiful thing, buying a book, Craft It with Wisdom,
exactly
supports Brother Joseph. And so that in turn builds an economic system. And so I would hope for those that are listening to understand that there's mechanics involved in this, such that you purposefully take your money and you invest in a product or service that's of a Hebrew brother or sister. I'm going to move on.
Can I say one thing before we go? I'm gonna let you say this.
By all means,
I'm sorry.
by all means.
We got to go back and look what people like Solomon did. Our people were never broke under the reign of Solomon. We didn't have any financial difficulties and struggles under the reign of Solomon. The wisdom that we have, we got ox like Moreh Yosef, who has wisdom and needs to be heard. That spirit of wisdom rests with that brother, and Yah is dealing with him, and he can help and impart that to people such as ourselves with business. So people came and sat at Solomon and got information and wisdom for their business and were able to enhance their business. And then we have to understand as a people, we need to keep our money amongst us. We don't need to hire another DJ unless it's DJ Judah or DJ Yoel, you know what I'm saying, for our events. We got ox that have equipment such as yourself that do concerts. We shouldn't patronize nobody else but you or Ox Judah, you know what I'm saying, for events. Then you got the Hebrew Hideout. We shouldn't do nothing but support our artists. Our artists should only hold concerts through them. This is how they did. If you go back and read the book of Tobit, Tobiyahu gave us the blueprint. He said, I came and I broke bread with the priest. I gave them 10%. And then I had a 10% that I spent with Jerusalem. I spent this. This set amount of money is going back into my brothers. It's going right into my brothers. And they did this every time they came to the city. They didn't go nowhere else. They only patronized their own. And that's where we got to get this mindset at. We're so quick to run and help every other nation and set and talk about our nation, but won't support our nation, but then want to preach and teach to our nation, and you won't support the nation. Yah forbid.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
And
I think it's close to one.
Can I slide one more thing in there real quick?
Oh yeah, go right ahead, brother.
Okay, so going back to the question about what are some of the new trades, I want to make this real brief because I know you. But we have, of course, back then they had camels, all right, horses and things like that. But today we have automobiles, vehicles, and that's the area that I've been involved in close to the last 10 years of being in business. Vehicles, you have individuals that have soaps, body cares. These are some good things that they help support our brothers and sisters on. Of course, you got all kinds of T-shirts, marketplaces that's going on. You have individuals that have water. All right, individuals that's making an effort. A brother I know personally has made an effort to go about purifying water, and he made that into a business. You got individuals. I'm not telling everybody to get involved in no cryptocurrency, but this is when you talk about new things that's happening since the ancient times. These are some of the new things. You got our brothers and sisters that's dealing with real estate. I have a chick now that's about to sell a house that my wife and I have, so we went to one of our own people, and she's a real estate agent. We have individuals that have music out here. I think it goes back to what DJ Yoel was saying. When individuals think that when you out here, pushing your product or promoting your music or whatever, that people are real skeptical about that because they don't want to think they're all about money and they're trying to get over on them. Of course, you got books, websites, and individuals speaking and bringing out the word as well. So I'm gonna turn it back over to you.
This is what I enjoy. Thank you so much. I love this content. I love this sharing. We got some folks that are submitting stuff in the chat. We're gonna open that up a little bit. We're gonna bring Mr. Sutton back in for those that are watching. It looks like his signal is having issues, but thank you so much, Mr. Sutton, for being faithful and reconnecting.
Hey, I am sorry about the problems.
So moving on, and I want everyone that's listening to this, okay? Question number 6, okay? This should engage you. It should challenge you. It's going to force you to pull out a pen. We're not going to hold long. Pull out a pen or a pencil, sheet of paper. If you got your tablet or smartphone, go to the notepad area. What are your gifts and talents? Now, we're not going to separate gifts and talents. Just write down what you're good at. Doesn't matter if you make money at it or not. You might be good at cutting trees. You might enjoy lawn work. You might be good just at plumbing, whether it's self-taught or not. Electrical, DJing, whatever it is. Start with stuff you actually enjoy, because you'll find that the very thing you enjoy, that's where you're supposed to operate. Now, I could simply explain why you're supposed to operate there. One, because every time you think about something you enjoy, you think about that. It gives you a level of excitement. You stand up straight. You get animated like I am. I enjoy teaching, training, motivating. That's what I do professionally. I train as a professional IBM master instructor. I teach, I train. That's what I do. So when I'm not doing that, I like to share scriptures. Okay. I also like to teach and motivate others. That's what makes me excited. And so when you think about the very thing that makes you excited, write that down. And once you've done that, your page will probably be full, because there's a lot of stuff we should be good at. When you understand that that's what you are and that's what you do, that's where you're supposed to operate at. I had a dear brother. I did an event in Indianapolis. A dear brother, he called me. He said, "Brother Yoel, man, I wanna do something, but I need to be able to financially support it." So I'm asking him, "Well, what do you like to do?" "Well, I like to work with youth, and I would like to do, tour-based youth camps." I said, "Well, do tour-based youth camps. Create a fee for registration, do campfires, do survival training, do all kind of stuff, keep it tour-based." I said, "There's nothing wrong with charging a fee for your time. That's perfect. That's honorable. You'd be surprised how many people might want to send their children to their youth camp that's tour-based." And he stopped, and the light came on. And it's like he understood that he can survive doing something he enjoys by associating what he enjoys with the fee that makes sense to support. So what we're trying to do with the panelists that are here, we want to challenge you so that you can understand that the thing that excites you is the space you're supposed to operate in. But we just need to get rid of that fear. We need to get rid of that wrong thinking about associating money with a service or product that you can offer, provided it's with righteous intent. We need to say that. Elder Corey, did you want to comment on that?
I think it's a big part of it that people don't consider that they like the things that they like to do as a gift or a talent, and they don't really seriously think about it. I had a conversation today with people to operate in their gifts and their talents, and not to be afraid of it, not to have the fear, not to be skeptical, but take that risk. Along with that, and you talk about fear, along with that comes risk. It's like if there's no risk, there's no reward. Well, you have to believe and have faith in yourself, regardless of what anybody else says or thinks or believes. But if it's something that you truly believe in and you know that you operate in it and it flows natural for you, then that's where you need to be. That's your space. That's the area you need to be operating in.
Before I'm going to bring you on Elder Sukkah, but before we do that, Elder Corey, if you can just share what you do presently in your corporate space.
In my space now, I work for the state of Indiana in workforce development. So I've got multiple roles, but primarily it's working with businesses, helping them find suitable candidates for the positions that they have open. But at the same time, I work with the job seekers and helping them find those particular roles for their particular talents or gifts that they've been given. So that's whether it's looking at their resume, talking to them about their likes. I had one lady today that talked about different things she liked to write. She was doing some different things or whatever, trying to start her business. And I talked to her about possibly being a grant writer or doing copywriting or something of that nature. If this is what you like to do, find those arenas that are comfortable in what you do. And she's a writer. And if you write, you have a knack for looking and paying attention to detail, then these are maybe a couple professions or fields that you need to look at. She was very happy. These are things that she had not considered or even thought about, So it's really mining. I call it, with the job seekers, I'm mining them for their gifts or their talents, asking them probative questions to find out what those things are, and then assisting them or helping them find those different areas or fields or careers that will be best suited for those gifts or talents that they have.
That's pretty impactful. You also do leadership training. Oh, the Sukkah, let me bring you in. You do leadership training. You got a couple websites where you offer leadership and training on building your business credit, how to build and brand your business. Maybe just share a little bit about that, Elder Sukkah.
Yeah, my main thing is I've been in sales and marketing since I was 18 years old. Worked in corporate America. My passion is to help people launch their business, to establish their business. You know, I give away a ton of free information on a constant basis and empowering our people to develop their business, to bring out their ideas. I help people bring what they have in their mind and help them manifest and put it into action. You know, set up your LLC, help you with your website, show you how to actually sell your product. A lot of people have great product, but they don't know how to pitch their product. Yeah. That's where I come in. I've been in sales since I was, like I said, 18. I'm 51. And everywhere I went in corporate America, I was in the top 5 in sales. And I end up training people, and I end up doing marketing. My niche is marketing. My niche is sales and marketing. You know, like they told me once before, they said, Gerald, man, you know, Sukkah, man, you can sell ice to Eskimos. You can sell salt to snails.
Yeah.
So, you know, so I come up in the smile and dial. I come up in the smile and dial area. Dial era, you know, so I know how to pitch a product. I know how to help you bring your product out of your mind and put it in and make it manifest.
Now, so, let me present something to you. And again, my whole approach is to challenge your thinking. For those that are listening, it's not to offer offense. Is prayer alone the avenue for building a business? Be real with me, Elder Sukkah.
No, sir.
Thank you for being honest. I appreciate that.
It's a part of it. It's just like when you bake a cake. You can't bake a cake without yeast. You need flour. You need sugar. You need the coloring. Then you have to slide it in the oven. Then you have to wait. In prayer, you get instructions.
Yeah.
And then in prayer, it tells you to act. And then it moves on to imunah, which is faith.
Right.
Prayer and faith go together. And we as people need to quit thinking prayer is a solution to it gets you the instructions that you need, and it pushes your buttons for you to move in imunah, which is faith. Just because I have an idea and I keep praying about it, but I never act on it, what good is the idea?
When I get up and do my morning devotions, when I go from that into my office space, very few times do I feel an unction or an anointing. When I go to the bank to open up another checking account for another business I'm looking to launch, there's no anointing, there's no breakthrough, there's nothing. What I'm doing are the necessary mechanics to materialize that dream or that vision that was imparted into me during prayer. So when the dream or the vision is imparted, I'm entirely responsible to make sure that thing comes to pass because the Father's already provided the impartation. The instruction is there.
Yes, sir.
Now we got to get up and work. Brother Yosef, please share.
And that was going back on what are my gifts and talents? That was the question, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so I will go on to say that it's definitely into sales. I've been in the set of sales now for I want to say around 25 years. I've been selling for 25 years, and that's like the strongest thing that I have to offer to the workforce, to my people. Also speaking, sales, of course, it goes with speaking, but my speaking transcends not just to door-to-door sales or standing in front of a store or calling you, making sales over the phone, but actually face-to-face is what I love to do as well. And face-to-face, of course, spreading wisdom and sharing the most. I love bringing people together. For years, I did gatherings, and now that's going on today. I don't have to do my gatherings anymore, but that's another thing that I would do. I had influence years ago from social media. On my first YouTube, I felt like let me use this influence to bring our people together, and that's what I did. So we started having summer gatherings, winter gatherings. We have people across the country come together at these events, And now these people have met each other, and they went on to throw their own events now, and I don't pretty much have to do that anymore. Um, Share what you were saying, DJ. Well, I'm excited about being able to share information with individuals and teach them certain techniques. Now, I found these principles found in the scriptures and the wisdom books. They have business principles, financial, hard work ethics. It's right there in the wisdom books as well. So I love to be able to share those with those that will listen. Also, I feel a faith or a belief can be looked at even as a gift. And I think that's something that all four of the panelists have right now, is that each and every one of us have taken that step of faith, or that step of belief. And it's every day it's been peaches and roses, a lot of downs. But I would definitely take, making, $70,000 a year, then and at my own terms, then to make 95,000 working for someone else. They telling me what to do. Of course, we striving to make more than 70,000. I'm just using that as an example. All right, so persist, hard work. Those are things that individuals have said about me. They've said you are very persistent, and when someone tell me no, it's like it bounced right off of me. It's like I don't first time, and you got to tell me no 2 or 3 times. That's just how I am. Even with my books, I went out to places. I went to gatherings. I went to all kind of events, and somebody said it wasn't interesting in one of the wisdom books, and then next thing you know, they was walking away with it. So like I'm persistent in that manner, and also love doing the music aspect as well. I've been off the music for about 3 or 4 years, and now I'm about to hop back on and be working on a brand new album, and I'm going to be promoting that. I did not know he was top nation and these different companies that he's been with, and I know he has a plethora of information that I would love to get off camera. So I'm gonna turn it back over to DJ OL.
Yeah, and this is for those that are listening. This is a good example of connecting with like-minded brethren, because you can leverage. For me to provide music services at a large gathering, or for me to have someone that understands how to do event planning, that's an asset for me. I need someone that understands large-scale event planning. I need someone that understands business strategy and business marketing. I need someone that can get in those areas that won't take no. And then I could take my skills and leverage someone else when they're looking to do something. So as we move into this question number 7.
So let me make a comment there. Let me make a comment real quick. I found something really interesting in the 3 of us. All of us started and have an extensive sales background, because I started in sales also. My first 10 or 12 years from time I was 18 or so, I was in sales. And did the independent, the large big box stuff, open stores, the whole 9 yards. So I find it interesting that all of us, and I think there is a case in point where if you are in sales, you have to have faith and confidence in yourself. You have to be a risk taker, and you do not take no for an answer. You look for a way to close.
Say that
I used
again.
to call it the ABCs of sales. Always be closing.
Always be closing. Come on. Man.
Always be closing. You know what I'm talking about.
That was beat into my head daily.
Yeah. And that's a foundation. It is something that we have been gifted with as a people. We were the first merchants and travelers of the world.
Come on now.
Don't let nobody fool you with this. It wasn't Christopher Columbus.
No, sir.
We were here long before that man ever got here. Our native brothers told them about seeing us. We traveled the world selling our goods and services. So this is an inherent talent and gift that was given to us, but it was needed for us to survive and take care of our people.
That's good. That's good.
Let me chime in real quick.
Yeah,
I want to tell people, a lot of us have good product. A lot of us can make a living if we learned how to sell our product, how to actually market our product, how to present our product. That's the problem with a lot of us. they don't know how to sell it. Then we have a lot of people. I have a product and they're scared to present the product to be sold.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? It all works together. The spirit of fear will shut you down. You can have $1 million idea, but you're scared to act on it. And then you don't ask questions on how can I present it? How can I make it available? How can I sell my product? One thing you got to know when you have something, if you don't know, ask your questions.
Right.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
I don't charge for everything.
Yeah.
I get calls all the time. Sukkah, man, how do I do this, man? Give me your email. I end up sending you $1 million worth of information, and then you call me back, and I have no issue with that because you are my people. I want to see you grow. I want to see you excel.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. And that's the biggest part of it. And that's part of that fear factor. What you don't know, it's nothing wrong with that. You have to learn. We all didn't start as an expert in our areas. Okay, you got to have somebody to give you some information to get you started, to feed you and ask those questions and for you to grow. That's how you get better at anything.
Mm-hmm.
Our elders should say, closed mouths don't feed nobody.
That's right. And initiating a sale or initiating a conversation is something that requires time. And you have to learn. I didn't think I was a salesman. I never thought I was a salesman until I began to talk about something I enjoyed. And my wife said, "Honey, you're good at that. You don't see it as sales. You just show level of excitement."
Yeah.
So if you think about sales as a hard thing, then consider you just being excited about something, because it's the same thing. Brother Joseph, were you going to say something, sir? I thought I heard somebody chime in.
Add to what Elder Corey, to add to what Elder Corey just said. As he, was talking about always be closing, but another one was that no just means not means it, and to me, not yet just means
not yet.
probably 15 about. So not yet, no, it's not yet, and I look at sales as this. You can only tell me yes or no. It's only two things you can tell me, and or not, or I'm not ready yet, or whatever excuse you want to make. But to me, it's just only two answers. Sales, the way I approach and talking to a girlfriend back in the day, you can only tell yes or no. And so, a lot of individuals that are scared of sales, people are scared of. They are afraid of sales, and they are afraid of public speaking. And some people will almost rather die than to do either one of those, to sell to someone or to speak in front of a group of people. And some of you I know, or all three of you on the line, have been involved with sales and speaking to groups, whether it's in small groups or larger groups of people. And you have to have some type of boldness to get out here. I like that. And no equals no opportunities. So these are things that we have to be really to looking inside of ourselves and examine it. Do I have of fear? Am I afraid, like Elder Sukkah was just basically saying, am I afraid to act on my $1 million idea? All right, individuals, I talked to an individual before I was about to publish my book, and he told me a license to put my book at. And I said, no, I believe in what I'm putting out. I believe in what I'm doing. Right. And he told me to lower it down. I don't think you should. And next thing you know, the Most High sending all kind of people to help support me. And thank you to you all that's been, sharing it and helping as well. I appreciate you all. But if they don't see what you see, and they don't feel what you feel inside, then they're fearful and afraid, or they're going to try to tell you shouldn't do it in the first place. I'll turn it back over to you.
I gotta say this, Saki, please. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, that's fine.
Because I'm going to give you an example of something. I was in corporate America. I was working at a company called Expert Hub. I'm in the top 5 in sales. I used to come home complaining to my wife because every month they would show us what we brought in on residual and new sales. It was no less than $850,000 every month that a 10-man team brought in.
Wow.
We were bringing this in monthly, and we were getting commission checks, 4,000, 3,000. You know what I'm saying? Some getting more. And I would always complain. My wife, I said, baby, you see this? And she would always turn to me and say, you need to be doing that for us.
Come on now.
She would always say that to me. You need to be doing that for us.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
She was like, I don't want to hear that until you're ready to do that for us.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And then one day we launched out there. We started our first business because I was in lead generation too. I was one of the first Black owned lead generation companies to deal with law firms. I was the only Black at the time. I was the only Black legal lead generation firm at the time. And I came in and I took my client base from that company and I ran with it. And I took it. I made my website. I launched out there. The first year we made $600,000.
See?
And she was talking about, she was looking at me like, you should have been doing this. She said, you would go make all that money for them people and you won't do it for us. And she pushed me and she motivated. Some of y'all need to listen to y'all Esau. Listen to your Esau because she can help you. I knew how to sell, but my Esau she was the accountant. She was the corporate for me. In other words, in a sense, I worked for her because she had all the paperwork together. She knew how to do all the receipts. She knew how to do all the invoices. She knew how to structure the appointments and everything. And all I did was go sell.
And the beautiful thing in that, whether the corporation is in-house or whether the corporation is a team of people leveraging one another, is understanding what someone's specific gift is in building you. And then vice versa, you building them. Question number 7, this is for everyone listening. Are you using your gifts, talents, or trade to generate income as early believers did? If you are not, why? Now that's a very challenging question. A lot of us are excited about a lot of things. I've heard people say, man, I'm thankful for this job, but yet you don't like it. You're thankful. Now, let's listen to the logic for a second. Let's remove the arena of faith. Let's just remove that. Let's listen to what you said. You're thankful for a job you don't like. Now, say that in the midst of brothers like us, we may correct you in a good way. Brother, if you don't like it, stop doing it. Do something. Do what you enjoy. Wow. How? Why? Well, that's what we're trying to. That's what we're trying to operate and activate within you. You first have to identify what it is that turns you on. And then secondly, how to present it, how to market, how to brand it, how to build it, how to get money from it with righteous intent. So now you're in the midst of brothers that can help create the right culture so that we can reshape your mind to understand kingdom economics and not just to make some salary. Brother Yosef, we're going to start with you. You can offer any comment on that if you like.
All right. Oh yeah. Well, I just go back to my talents. Basically, my biggest asset is my mouth, and that just goes back to, I believe, the ancient believers as well as us today. They had definitely had to involve themselves into sale. They definitely had to. Abraham and those men of the Ur Chaldees, they had to speak to one another. Solomon had to speak to Hiram of Tyre. They had to make negotiations and sales. So that's the thing that I'm still doing, and I have to do it in every single aspect, whether I'm selling a body, whatever vehicle I'm selling, I have to explain to them the different features and the techniques of the car, functionalities. I have to sell to them. I got to tell them why this book that I have, why it's so important that they at least start reading it and take a look at it. And any other things that I'm doing on the side, I have to continually use the gifting of being able to sell and communicate, persuade, inspire, motivate, and to teach. All those things we're still in today, just like our forefathers did.
And it's important that once you've done your inventory of your gifts, your talents, and I've said this many times, write them down and look at that and say, that's my profile. That's who I am. So if that's who I am, Who put all those gifts, talents, resources? Who put the abilities? Who put all that within you? Well, the Most High put it within you. But the thing is, we choose not to use that to build wealth, but we in turn take our gifts and enslave them to somebody else that know how to use them. There are companies that will make more money off you than what they pay you. That's called employment. And there's nothing wrong with it in and of itself until you come into the understanding, like Elder Sukkah, that if I'm making all this money for this client, what if I could make that for myself? And then what if I could, in turn, take that money and do something with my wife or my children? Or what if I began to take ownership of my own time? What if instead of taking a 1 hour lunch, what if I can take a 2 hour lunch? Or what if I can take the entire week off and not have that impact my business at all because I own the business? When you have ownership, your authority of what it is you can do
Right.
takes on a whole different approach. When you can lift your hands up and praise the Most High in English or in tongues in your own place of work, that's powerful. When you can tell your wife, honey, take the day off. You scheduled my entire calendar. Take a couple $1,000, do what you want. That is powerful. Now, I'm not talking about carnality. I'm talking about being in a position to do that. I want any one of you elders to jump on that like a pit bull on the bone. I just want to have a group conversation just on that. Y'all come on and talk to me. What is it like to have ownership of the very thing you own?
It was beautiful, man. It's beautiful.
Beautiful.
I don't work for anybody but me.
Peaceful.
I don't report to anybody but me. And me and my Isha, before she passed, we enjoyed life.
That's it.
Before in our first the last since 2011, when we left corporate America, we started to enjoy life because we had it at our own means. We did what we wanted to do. You know, her thing was Vegas, so let's go. We'll just pick up and leave. You know, literally, she's like, let's go, because we're right here in California. Let's go to Vegas, because that was her thing. Let's go, baby. I want to go for a few days. I want to get away now. I'm ready, and that's her thing. So my thing was, I built the business for her and to take care of my family and to go and do the things we wanted to do whenever we wanted to do. Working a 9 to 5, I was working 40 hours. The mindset when we first got the job was work 40 hours a week, retire in 40 years, and retire on 40% of what I made. When I was like, man, come on, man, this, and she was like, baby, that's not it. So it was a blessing to me because ownership is everything. You can't tell me what to do with mine. Come on now.
Man, I've been preaching this thing for 20, close to 22 years. That's how long I've been self-employed. The inspiration that has provided to young people of color, when I say, hey, I'm an entrepreneur, I've been self-employed 22 years, I get this look, and I'm sure you brothers, you ox have received it, so you get this look like, you're doing good. What kind of work you do? Well, here's the truth, and I'm leading into another piece of our conversation. We have to learn to be serial entrepreneurs. And for those that don't know, that's a big word. It means you're doing good at more than one thing, and you have multiple money streams. DJing is one money stream. That's only one. IT professional training is another. Selling garden beds is another. Now, I'm not boasting of myself, but what I'm learning to take the talent and the gift and the ability, that profile of who I am and what the Father put within me, and I'm taking that and making it a craft so that I can be a benefit to someone and at the same time provide sustainable income. Because what I want to do, I want to travel and take all this DJ stuff. That's what I want to do. Elder Suk, I'm going to give the mic back to you. Share whatever you like to share, sir.
No, I just encourage the people, get with people such as Morey Yosef, get with Elder Corey Sutton, such people such self to help you build what you need done. You know, we're here. My thing is, I'm here for the nation. The Most High gave me to the nation to impart the wisdom and give the understanding. You know, we have a lot of people. The scriptures told you. He said, when you go into captivity, build houses and land. Y'all commanded us today. We're not supposed to be broke even in our captivity. Mm-hmm. I just truly believe that, and I believe there's a wisdom. You know what I'm saying, that Yah wants to give to us and wants to loose to us and help us, because a lot of us are hurting ourselves by not implementing. We pray for things and we won't do it.
Yeah.
You know,
we
we're
start,
praying for, get me out of it, to show me how to do it, Most High. And then when He show us, and then we thinking like, oh, that's gonna hurt me, that's gonna cost me. No, get out the spirit of fear. Spirit of fear will hurt your business. If spirit of fear will keep you in bondage, it'll keep you suppressed. It'll keep you from operating in the gifts. It'll keep you from operating and building wealth for your family.
Right. I want to give Elder Sutton, before you comment, let me give a shout out to Aquare, Aquare Rock. Shalom, my brother. I'm tuned in. Thank you for the shout. Yehukanan, I see you sharing love with everybody. Tabori, Bryant, changing a 9-to-5 mindset to an entrepreneur mindset. That is a must. That was a comment based on conversation we had early on. Another comment from Mr. Tabori Bryant, having the liberties to do what you love. One gentleman said, man, I enjoy fishing. I said, maybe you need to start doing fishing tours. And the brother looked at me. You can monetize almost anything. You just have to have confidence and know how to brand it and know how to market it.
You know, it's funny that you mentioned that, because today I had a conversation about the problems with some of the facilities are having with having teams or receivers on their docks, the stores. And, truck drivers don't unload their trucks. They pull up to the dock, open that back door, and let the people do it. And I just happened to walk outside, and I was like, wow, I'm really thinking about this. And it hit me that would it not be great if somebody started a business that you call it a shipping or receiving team, and you were contracted by businesses. You had a truck or small truck where you had your own forklift, another side truck to pull stuff out, but you would literally bring your team in to receive shipments for companies, regardless of what that time was throughout the day or in the evening, or to help ship stuff for them if they've got a problem with that. But you have your own team of people, and it was just something that hit me, and I built this whole thing out in like 5 or 10 minutes. Just that entire thought process of what the problem is, and this is part of it. There's a lot of times we can solve problems for people with our gifts and our skills. Okay, our giving says give to us. We just don't think of it in that way. A lot of things that we are able to do, we solve other people's problems. They're able to do that.
That's good. That's good. Brother Yosef, did you have a comment on that?
Okay. Oh yeah, absolutely. We're going back to what you were saying about how does it feel just to be an entrepreneur. I don't know if I can compare any other feeling to it. The feeling to march to the own beat of your own drum, to get up when you want to. Of course, we are up early. Of course, we rise early because we know, according to wisdom, you have to get up early and take care of your business, be diligent about your labor. But like Elder Sukkah was just saying, being able to travel to Vegas, being able to travel with my wife, being able to travel around the country, these different gatherings that we have had over the last few years and that others have, I'm able to take off work whenever I need to go to these different functions and to be around my brothers and sisters and to build meaningful relationships. You can't put a price tag on that. When someone calls me and they wants me to come and speak to a group of people or to a congregation, I can do that without having to ask a boss, can I take off work? All right. And I also want to send a shout out because I saw Aquare Rock is on there. That brother, for those that take a look at this video, check out Aquare Rock. All right, I'm throwing out a promotion for him right now. Him and his they make top-notch garments. Their garments are the way they're sold, the way they're hemmed. Too bad right behind me. If I was to open that door up, I got his garments in my closet right now. And him and Elder Sukkah actually remind me of each other. And that's crazy that the Aqua is on here. I believe him and Elder Sukkah need to connect because
we not connected this, man. Aki's finna do me some big and tall stuff, man. I'm a 6'5" brother, and I got you. Shout out to Aqua. He said, I got you, Sukkah. I said, all praise.
Man, y'all too, the way y'all sound, the way y'all talk, y'all are brothers or cousins, the way that you all conduct yourselves. But going back to the feeling of the entrepreneurship, it is nothing like it. I pray that more of our brothers and sisters will step out on their ideas. When you have an idea and you believe that you can do it, so do something that same day to bring it to fruition. All right, it's nothing worse than going to the grave and all ideas and gifts and talents go to the grave with you and you never do nothing about them.
Yep.
That's right. This is, I love this kind of energy. This has been a passion and a desire of mine for years, was to build a platform or a system of which we could support and encourage one another. We're going to be wrapping up. I do want to say this. We're going to be back next Wednesday. I think part of our discussion is going to be talking about fear and how to overcome and deal with that. I think Elder Sukkah coined it well. You first have to identify what the fear is and where it came from. And we have a lot of fears built into us, either by way of a system, a family structure, a way of thinking, what's been taught to us, stuff that's been in error. And so we're gonna dig in. It might get emotional for some of you that might come back to watch the next stream on next Wednesday. But I do want to say this. We're going to give shouts out right now. So all of us in the conversation here, certainly shout out to Yehukanan for the work you have done and are doing amongst the entire Hebrew nation. A couple groups I need to put a shout out to. Groups that I sponsor specifically, the Black Business Network. Please join that. You'll see some early videos of Black talks. We're probably going to resume those discussions, but Black Business Network, join that group. The Black Fitness Network, we're pushing health and fitness. Black Gardening Network. So if you're looking to start a garden or be educated or just share or learn or even post your produce, do that. I think there's a Black Vegan Network that I've started. There's a couple other groups that I'm starting. My thing is, like Brother Yosef, is to bring the community of people together. That's my desire. That's my passion. That's my heart. Elder Corey, I'm going to turn it over to you, but let me give a shout out also to your website, Sutton Leadership, Business Planning. Hopefully I coined it right. Do executive training, executive leadership, mentoring, business plan. Anyone that's in the executive space, you've launched and supported large companies. So I'm going to turn the floor over to you, and then you give a shout out to all those businesses, and then you'll pass it over to one of the other ops in the conversation here.
The biggest one is our network, the Black Business Network. I think that's huge. Your health network is another one that we need to work on. I think as you build these networks and we find people in these spaces, this is where we get our energy. These platforms give us our energy. It allows people to connect in ways they've never connected before. I think one of the two advantages that we have is that we have a platform, or there are many social media platforms that will allow us that we don't necessarily have to just look within our own city, our own neighborhood, our own backyard. Now you can find a connection or people that can help you worldwide. And you need to take advantage of not taking advantage of that, then you're not using the gifts and the tools that have been given to us, or if you have them, you're using them incorrectly. And I think one of the beautiful things I love about this is that this has allowed us to connect with people in so many different ways that you just can't imagine, and you've got to stay with that. I think that's the part of this, that as you get on the different platforms and the different sites, you will find like-minded people, which I probably missed that part of the conversation. But if you're going to be successful, you have to be around like-minded people. Okay? If you're in a room and you look around and you realize that you're the smartest person in the room, I would suggest you find another room. I mean, that's just how I look at it. You got to find another room. I need to learn. You know, that's how I look at myself. If I look around, I'm the smart, and I consider myself the smartest guy in the room, and I'm not learning anything. I got to go. I got to go find something else to do. I got to find another room to get into, because I value my growth and development, and that's what you have to do. Don't allow anybody else to tell you what your growth and development is or what your potential is. And that's another trap we fall into. Stop it. Mm-hmm. The Most High has told you what your value is. He's giving you your gifts. He's giving you everything you need. Quit letting somebody else of the flesh devalue you.
That's right.
I'm done.
Elder Joseph, let's go to you. Then we're going to close out with Elder Sukkah. Brother Joseph, any shout outs you want to
Okay.
give?
Absolutely. I want to give a shout out real quickly. Again to Aquawear Rock. All right, one more time to Aquawear Rock. Please buy. Check out the garments that they have. Him and his D-Shah. Not only garments, they have soap. They sell other products as well. I want to give a shout out to House of Daweed, Haji Go Lightly. All right, he makes some of the finest chains. This is not one of them I have on, but he makes some of the finest chains that you're going to find in the nation. All right, top quality, handcrafted. All right, we talk a bit ancient forefathers. All right, one of those from him. You also got Chosen Tees. They're up in Detroit, Michigan. You want to, take a look at them if you want to type them in. Chosen Tees. All right, they have urban wear for your t-shirts. That's the others up in Detroit. Buchanan, the AKA the Hebrew Plug. I see him right now on there. One is so many different people. Of course, they have Rainbow Word clothing. All right. One of my favorite shirts is The Truth is Unpopular. You might see me with that shirt on quite a bit. All right. You got Yeshaya GM. All right. He sells chains and necklaces up in Detroit. You got Elena Lockett that sells tassels and fringes with Lockett Law. I know Yehukannan's been he's been posting the Lockett Law Entertainment Promotions. They're doing gatherings and they're assembling people together. They're actually going to be going from city to city, state from state. They started that in Cincinnati, and they're about to be doing some other events. They have a love for bringing artists together so that artists can share their different talents and giftings for the Most High as well. You got Wholesale Auto Connection, Yehuda Shalom. He's been selling cars for a long time as well. You have Opulence Wine with Carmelo Johns up in Detroit. So these are just some of the businesses that you could put out there that I know has been able to do some good business along the journey of my entrepreneurial connections within the nation. There's so many more. Of course, these are some of the people that came to my mind. I pray for those of you that I did mention that don't get offended, and maybe your names will come back to me for the next call.
Let me say this before we close out with Elder Sukkah. Specifically, I got to give a major shout out and plug in for my wife, Chantel Burks with Chantel Realtor. Go visit her website or her Facebook page, Chantel Burks Realtor. She's with Heritage Oak. She's a realtor, so she's licensed in the state of Georgia. So if you're looking to buy or sell land, property, real estate, inbox her. She'd be more than glad to help you and to work with you. Elder Sukkah, we're going to put the golden mic in your hand. You're going to give a shout out. I'm sorry?
Can I add one more before the Elder Sukkah?
Oh, yeah. Go ahead.
Okay. Sleeka, Elder Sukkah, one more quick second. When you real estate, there's someone that came to my mind. I believe this woman now because she's helping me sell my house right now as we speak. Makoti Suha Yishuha Israel, all right, and her husband Obadiah. He's put together a website that brings together all kind of things of our people. So it's like a one-stop shop nation of Israel with different tiers, different people bringing out scriptures. That's a help for the nation as well. All right, back to Elder Sukkah. My bad.
Come on. Give your shout out, Elder Sukkah. Come on.
Man, my shout outs, man, is to the Akim. You know what I'm saying? To my man, my Ak, man, Yehukannah, Yasharala. You know what I'm saying? That's my Aki right there. All praise to the Most High for him. I call him the Hebrew switchboard. All praises, man. Shout out to my man Moshe and them. Listen, like the elder mentioned, Haji Go Lightly, man, one of the finest Aks I know in the land. I highly respect his jury is A1, it's pristine. Definitely worth his weight in everything he do. My man, and that's all I can really say right now. My man Dimitri Pruitt is up and coming in the jewelry business at this moment. But anything we can do to help, we're definitely here. Shout out to all the brews that are doing what they need to do. If we can help in any way, to inbox me. Whatever I can do to help. It's all about the nation. 12 tribes, one nation.
12 tribes, one nation.
12 tribes, one nation. That's what I mean right there, and that's what I'm gonna stand on.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Hallelujah.
For those that are watching this, we thank you so much. We had comments. Let's see. He's the plug. I'm not sure which one you're referring to. There were a lot of folks that were being mentioned. So thank you for those that are joining, that are watching this Farm Broad in real time. If you see this recorded event in the future, make a comment. We'll reply as quickly as we can. Please join and anticipate another restream on Wednesday of next week. We're going to talk about fear. I think not only just fear, I think we're going to talk about fear, branding, and marketing, understanding the difference in all those as we build and support one another, and certainly as we give the Most High glory for the gifts that He's exposing through us. I'm going to close out in prayer. Abba, Yah, we thank you. I'm sorry, does someone have to say something? Want a comment? Okay. Abba, Yah, we bless you. We thank you for what you're doing to stir up the gifts within us. To stir up the gifts within us, Father, so that you might be glorified, that you would build a economic structure based on what you've already established in your word. Deuteronomy 28, verse 1 through 14 talks about being obedient to Torah, being obedient to the law, how you would prosper our storehouse, how you would prosper our hand, that we would lend to the nations, that you would provide increase in what we touch, and that others would fear us, Father. Abba, we thank you for your goodness, your mercy. Provide careful instructions for those that are listening, such that they will receive it with right intent, and that they would apply what's been shared with righteous intent. Build us, sustain us, keep us, and we'll give you glory in all things. Through your Son's name to be esteemed, Yahushua HaMashiach. Father, we say thank you. Todah, todah, todah. All right, elders, I'll see you all next Wednesday, Lord's will. And until then, continue to prosper in your various businesses.
All right.
Shalom, ma.
Shalom.
Shalom.
Shalom, elders.
Tabori, thank you. As we close out, Yah's child, we say thank you for attending. Aqua Rock Ak, continue to do your thing. May the Most High prosper your business and expand it. May multiple millions come in so that you could further invest in building kingdom, employing people, staffing up people. Yoru, Uriel Ben Yisrael, shalom, my dear brother. And everyone else still on the feed. We're going to close it. Yukanan always. Thank you so much for being a blessing to the nation. DJ Uel, and what's left, Elder Sutton, we're going to sign off. Thank you so much.